The 5-1 second quarter set up a handy 26-point lead for the Redland Bombers over Mount Gravatt in their round 1 NEFL Northern Conference game here at Dittmer Park. Craig Miller, what can we expect to see in the second half? At least there's a bit of a cooler breeze started to blow because it was a tremendously hot first half.
Yeah, I think we expect to see a bit more structure out of Redlands, and we just got to make sure that Mount Gravatt just continue their effort because they're definitely still in this game. Third quarter, as we all know, premiership quarters, a free kick will be paid there under the new interpretation of the law. And as it goes to Brad Howard, as he's got a sort of centre wing. But I think that the Vultures have just got to stay with Redlands now. They can't afford it to blow out in this third quarter, right?
And Redland are kicking with some semblance of a breeze. It was stiflingly hot and very still in that first quarter. It was Brad Rees, who was very busy, gives it over towards Matt Thompson, playing his 100th game for the Bombers. He's put it out there in front of Pullman, but it's gone through for a behind. They move to 8 goals 12. 4 goals 9, it extends the lead to 27 points a minute into the third quarter, and surely that heat will have taken some of the sting out of the legs of both players, and realistically Mount Gravatt are going to have to be within probably 3 goals at the very most if they want to have some sort of chance of running over the top in the last quarter.
Yeah, definitely, Ron. It's good movement there from Malone. Out to Estill. Estill with the ball, looks up, kicks it long up to Ajita. Ajita in front, good point from behind from Gravatt. It's Peter Wright with his head over the ball, big body, as he's taken to the ground. Ball spills out. Ajita with the ball, tackled high from Boone. And Ajita with the ball, 70 metres out from the Mount Gravatt goal line. As he looks up, picks it up. Reese in front should take a mark. Scott on the mark, handballs it off to Thompson. Thompson switches the play across to Salter. Salter to the ball, the 50-metre mark. Kicks it up to Gartner. Good long lead from Gartner as he handballs back inside to the Grogan medalist, off to Thompson. They're sort of dabbing around with a footy here. Salter works him off into traffic. Good enough to get out of it though. It's a poor kick, there's a turnover. Handball off the ground, off to Proud. Proud looks up, kicks it short to Scott. Scott's got the ball, 40 metres out. He's got Estill across on the other side of the ground as he looks up, chooses to go short again, and I think it's Pennyquick with the ball 30 metres out, close to the boundary line. So it's good movement there from Mount Gravatt. It was Redlands just across half back, Ron, just messing around with the footy a bit too much. They got caught out, Mount Gravatt good enough to turn it over, and now shot on goal.
Yeah, it's that turnover by foot. If you don't hit your target, particularly when you've got plenty of opposition players around, it's going to rebound on you every time. Good concerted build up there by Mount Gravatt. They didn't panic. They took their time and just spotted out their man, and now Pennyquick on the left, the right side. And he's made absolutely no mistake. It was a goal sneak when he was at the Western Magpies as a teenager, Pennyquick. Played some good games for the Brisbane Lions reserves too and kicked some goals, and that's what he's in the team to do, kick some goals. They've got their 5th, the Vultures, the first goal of the second half, and they bridged the margin to 22 points as we tick 4 minutes into this third quarter.
He's a good player, Pennyquick. Probably the one thing that lets him down is just his discipline at times, and if he can remain disciplined and play that structured role, and Peter McClellan can get the most out of his ability, he's a good, handy acquisition for the Vultures. So now their forward line looks reasonably potent at the moment with Dick Voss and Gross and Pennyquick up there and Mowat. So if they get it in there, they're going to score nearly every time they do.
Well, they took a whole quarter to get that goal. They goaled at the previous goal was at the 3-minute mark of the second term, so that will certainly be a relief. And we spoke about them just blazing away and not enough movement in their forward 50 for the second half of that second quarter. That was a lot better. Umpire Aaron Hall, one of the elite umpires in Queensland, bounces the ball in the middle of Dittmer Park, and it's a good one. Paxman up against Malone. Malone gets the jump, spills to the back, big Paxman go in. You can see the players were wary of there of not taking out legs of opposition players. Zufa, who started the game on absolute fire, and that's a clever mark there by Howard, who's busied himself. Matt Thompson, another one who's knocked up getting possessions. Gee, Gartner's moving from side to side of that forward line. Like we were saying before, he's a big unit, 199 centimetres of him. Oh, clever intercept there by Reese, and I've liked his game. He has really grown into this game of footy. Got a ton of possession. This is Damien Stephen onto the left foot, puts it out in front of Pullman, and he's got a, yes, he's held onto that. Umpire's made the correct decision, got those long arms out in front of his opponents there, and I think he must have dropped off. Looked like
Stewart's still on him. Yep. He just used his body beautifully there, Ron. He really arched his back and extended his arm at full reach.
The bum out,
and kept Stewart away from the ball. So a good forward mark there.
It's just the coaches might have even been in his ear at half time just about those one-on-one contests, because he does have the height advantage there over Stewart. Stewart just constantly managed through that first half to get to the fist of the ball. Does drop the ball awkwardly, does Pullman, and he's got himself another behind. 1 goal, 5 for the day. So certainly like to straighten that up as he goes over the this game unfolds. They move to 8-13 Redland. Mount Gravatt are 5-9. Coming into the outer side. Levy, who started the game well but drifted out of it second quarter. He's got men on the middle. This is neat. Found Luke Scott. Scott, who was so good for his team in the first half, tried to overkick that. Consequently, it's fallen short. Estel, he's shown plenty of speed and pep during the game, but he can't get a handle on that. That was Boone, but he was intercepted. Well intercepted by Mo. It gave it to Ajita. He's got, looks like Gross has gone forward to try and give them some firepower, but the kick fell short. This is Zane Pringle. He's got a man leading from. That's Gardner again. Gee, he's been impressive, the big fella, for his first... Well, I guess he's had a couple of practice matches in these conditions. Thompson just stood in the tackle and brushed his inside, as did Gardner. Gave it off to Greer. Loved his first half, the redhead. Looks a little bit like Todd Banfield, but he's kicked it just to the right-hand side. And again, they've kicked another behind. Redland have moved to 8-14, leading Mount Gravatt 5-9, and we're 5 minutes into the third quarter as Stewart brings the ball back in again. He's got a man free at half-back. I don't know if both coaches would be particularly pleased with the ease at which the opposition's brought the ball in from the kick-ins. This is Estel, just forward of the wing. He's going to load up for the big Tory. It's gone off the side of the boot. Pringle.
They really had an opportunity to go inside with some penetration there, and just an unloading torpedo does nothing for anyone on the lead, so disappointing kick inside as Godfrey's got the ball on half back, looks inside. Don't know what he was trying to do there, Ron, as he tries to brush the tackle. Good effort, needed to hold onto the tackle though, Barry, as the ball goes out to centre wing. Gardner in position. An imposing figure there, is proud on him. Handball's out the back to Green. Will it beat him across the line? And it does. And it's inside that forward 50 there for the Redland Footy Club.
Really impressive with the work rate of Big Gardner. He had big shoes to fill because Scott Clouston, no one worked harder, and of the big forwards in Scott Clouston, and Gardner has shown a real appetite for running. He's very mobile. Brad Reese again, he is putting himself where the ball is. Big Paxman, his lumbers after it. He's still going to be the first one to get to the ball. He's got teammates all around him. Tries to draw his opponent, and that didn't work. Estel was wise to it, and he's won himself the free kick for holding the ball.
You just need to use the first option. It was a 4-on-1, and Estel did a clever job there holding the ball up on Paxman as they go inside 50.
Great kick. Great kick by Rogers there. Weighted it magnificently right out in front of Gross. Didn't give the defender a chance. And those long arms of Gavin Gross has plucked the ball. And we all know Gavin Gross can go on the long lead because he's got that raking left foot. This 50-metre kick, he kicks 50-metre kicks like you and I kick 30 metres, Funky.
Yeah, he's a fabulous kick. The distance won't be an issue. It'll just be the accuracy as he leans back, and he struck it well. We've gone up early and it's just sprayed it across the left-hand side. So one behind there to Gavin Gross. It's a beautiful kick, as you said. And Peter Wright just got caught out on a quick lead from Gross. The ball kicked into Cass in the back pocket. Cass looks up. There's not a lot to kick to, so he's forced to switch it back across the board to Pullman, Sam Pullman, brother of Josh. As Cass moves into the other pocket, Pullman kicks it up to Brad Reese. Really just chipping away here, trying to find their way through this zone.
Good job with the press here too by Mount Gravatt, not giving the Redland Bombers any space to run into.
Reese up to Paxman, Malone, good contest. Proud comes out, fends off the don't argue, into Jamison. Jamison handballs over the top. Clever little touch. I think that was Stewart and the clever touch up to Pennyquick for his lining up for his second.
Yeah, not sure whether the idea was just to toe poke it in front of himself there by Brandon Stewart, but irrespective, it worked beautifully for him. Pennyquick got his chance to kick his second goal of the half. Spent a fair bit of time in defence in the first half, so the move forwards obviously paid dividends for the coaching staff. James Pennyquick, distance won't trouble him either. That breeze that we thought had sprung up hasn't impacted on any of those kicks. Pennyquick makes no mistake. He punched the air before the ball had even cleared the goal line. We've hit the 10-minute mark, and Mount Gravatt are making a little bit of a surge back. They're 6-10-46. Trail Redland 8-14-62. We've got ourselves a game on our hands, Funky.
Here we have. It's been a good build-up from Mount Gravatt there, and they're just capitalising. Redland's just messing around with the footy. they haven't hit their targets when they're moving it out of defence, either by hand or foot. And Mount Gravatt are putting enough pressure on to create the turnovers, and they are making the most of their opportunities in this quarter. So a good start from the Vultures, and McLennan's really, I don't know what he said to him at half time, mate, but he just basically must have been saying, keep the pressure on, the turnovers will come when we're back in the game.
Could be a simple game footy at sometimes, and we saw how willing they were in that first quarter with their efforts. No clear advantage there. Gee, the players going hard. Cass was in there. That's Stephen. Chopped off there by Net. Plenty of pace, the little fella. Just loads up and kicks long. It's gone over Scott's head. He's going to have to readjust, but he readjusts magnificently. Oh, gee, he has had the ball on a string, and he was composed enough to put it out in front of that man, Pennyquick. He should go back and kick the goal, son. When you're on fire like he is at the moment, and he's steadied, does love a goal, Pennyquick. How's the composure of Luke Scott? Anybody else under that situation would have just happily blazed away. He just took that extra half a second to think about what he was doing and laid the ball lace out.
He's a classy player. We talk about players that, oh geez, he struck that
Looks good off
that beautiful kick.
3 goals.
The Vultures, Pennyquick with his 3rd for the quarter. Fantastic effort. And Scott comes off for a break, replaces his brother. We've got a game on our hands, Ron.
Well, that's 3 goals in 8 minutes for James Pennyquick and the Mount Gravatt Vultures. Just looks like he's taking up that post somewhere around the centre half forward position. Certainly given the Vultures, the Bombers plenty to think about. Just trying to see who that is who's moved on to him now.
Tyler Jones.
It is Tyler Jones. Well, Tyler Jones has got a big job on his hands at the moment. But again, just the movement. They've obviously reassessed at half-time, done their homework, done a good job, the Mount Gravatt coaching staff. Hunter and Pennington. Pennington gave it to Jamison. Just looking to go forward again. Clever little knock on by Yoshiira. That was Andrew Scott. He knew where the runners were. Gave it to Eckerman. This is Lavey on the right foot. Long kick to full forward. Gross almost plucked a beauty out of the air. That's a high tackle on Ajita. And the Papua New Guinean's going to shoot at goal for another one. Well, this has been a very, very sudden change in complexion of this game, but they got the dander up the young fellas there at Mount Gravatt. Playing some very good hard football.
Talking about their midfield, Ron, you know, in that first half where they really need to get on top of Redlands because they're just getting far too many clearances, but the role's been reversed in this early part of this 3rd quarter and they're really working, and their wave is coming off from the half-back flank as Ajita comes in. It's a funny old kick, but I think he's got it. He has. It wasn't struck well off the boot, but the end result was the 6 points. So Mount Gravatt closed the gap to 4 points. 8-14 to 8-10.
So that's now 3 goals in 3 minutes to the Vultures, and they've certainly got them spring in their step now. Certainly there's some cloud cover come over the ground. The sun's certainly not beating down as hard as it was, so that's certainly going to be the advantage of the players, and it's Redland who are looking flat at this stage. Big Pennington, 36 years old, Mark Pennington. He'll be playing against some young men half his age out there. Up against young Hunter. Hunter for Redland. Gets a free crack at that, bashes it forward. Chris Thompson on the left to Josh Veering, plucks it out of mid-air. Gardner. Well, they were just unlucky with that bounce there, Mount Gravatt. They had all the momentum going their way and they really didn't need that, but luck can be a fortune in this game. It's gone the way of the Redland Bombers. Gartner. 499 centimetres of him. Load up. Wind at his back. He's kicked that off the toe of the boot. Accordingly, he's hooked it. He kicked their 15th behind of the day, Redland Bombers. We spoke earlier about poor shooting at goal might impact negatively on Mount Gravatt. Well, it's starting to impact on the Bombers. 8-15 plays 8-10 as Neat goes across goal. A dangerous kick. Good work there by Godfrey. Knocks the ball out of bounds. Bombers will be able to get the men around the ball and load up in the boundary throw-in.
I think the intent was right there from Neat, but the execution was poor, and it was a dangerous kick, and Reese come over the back and knocked it over to be a forward boundary throw-in there for Redlands.
Yeah, Stephen Gartner's had the 2 shots at goal for 2 behinds. Zuffa just plucks the ball, screws it around his body. He can kick freak goals like that, Zuffa, and it was close, but it wasn't quite on the money. And it's behind number 16 on the board. The Vultures bring the ball in there to Yashira. He kicks it high. Pennington's going to have to go hard. Oh, super mark in the middle of the pack there. Who was that? It's knocked the wind out of him. That was a sensational, gutsy effort.
Was that Nate? I think it might have been Oh,
No, it's Jamison, Todd Jamison. Gee, if that's not enough to lift his teammates, I don't know what is. As Estill looks like he's gone down with cramp. Strong mark there by Jesse Green. He's going to get run down, but gets his boot to the ball. He's chipped it over the head of Veering. Dick Foster's running down. Knocks Veering over. Got the path of Eckerman. Eckerman around the body on the left. That's not going to help anybody, and it's going to bounce over for a boundary throw in deep in the forward pocket for Mount Gravatt, who have looked particularly impressive and again moved the ball really well. Playing with plenty of confidence. Overhead marking there in that passage of play was exceptional.
I mean, as you alluded to, Ron, I mean, that mark from Jamison was a real... if that doesn't get your spine tingling and the hairs up on your back or neck, I don't know what will, but it's a fantastic effort. It really set a precedent for what's happening at the moment with Mount Gravatt Footy Club. They're first in at the footy as they flick it out the back. It's a high tackle there, unfortunately, for Scott. On Reese, I think it is Reese. So he gets up from the ground very gingerly. He's right, wanting to take the kick.
It was good work on the ground again there by Veering too. He put his head over the ball and got that forward momentum going. Godfrey, he's got the runner inside in Cass. We know Phil Cass will keep on knocking up, getting possessions and will run the game out. They've pulled all their forwards forward and now they're running back on it. Howard's got the opportunity if it bounces for him. It doesn't. And Neat judges it magnificently. Good handball off to Yashira. Yashira's got Barry for him if he wants him. Or puts it in the middle of Barry and a teammate, but Barry was good enough to do the basketball effort with it. Puts it out in front of Penny quick. Awkward kick and an awkward bounce. Boone runs onto it and it gets knocked over for a boundary throw in. Game's just picked up a little bit of zinging from end to end at the moment. As 8-16 plays 8-10, it's a 6-point advantage to the Redland Bombers. They were in control. That lead was out as far as 27 points during that second quarter. We're 16 minutes into the third now. This is Godfrey. Racked up in a tackle there by Andrew Scott. Ball's not going to come out. You had an opportunity, says the umpire, and Andrew Scott will take the free kick. He wastes no time. Got Gross on the lead. Kicks it up. Peaver Wright puts his body on the line there, edges him out of the way. This is Pringle. Pringle gets it back towards Tyler Jones. Oh, he takes on one, he takes on two. That was dangerous. Umpire says play on. It spilled to Gross on the trusty left foot around the body. Just misses to the far side and a minus score to the Vultures, who reduce the margin to 5 points.
And there's a real buzz about the Vultures at the moment. They've really got their tails up and they're definitely creating too much pressure for Redlands at the moment, who are really panicking. So Peaver Wright kicks it out long down the middle of the ground. It's a 2-on-1 though. Howard recovers well though. Quick hands out to Salter. Salter looks wide. He's got the over the top, well-weighted kick out to Gartner. Gartner looks up to Pullman. Ball goes over the back. Just keeps it inside. I think it's still in, Ron. It is. Play on, says the umpire. Matty Thompson's got the ball. Was it gone through? I think there's a bit of... No, it was already through.
The ball was already over the ground.
Through.
So fourth rush behind for the day to the Bombers. Moved it back to that 6-point margin, 8-17 to 8-11. Ball comes out that was looking for Malone. Stolen there by Veering. Oh, he's got the runner for him. Brewer. We haven't seen Brewer much this quarter. He makes no mistake. He's a likely looking type. Puts through the steadier. That is the Bombers' first goal for the quarter.
Great hands from Josh Veering. I mean, experienced player. We know the quality and calibre of him, but under pressure to look inside, a 15-metre handball to Brewer and a really classy, polished finish from Blake Brewer.
Well, it took them 17 minutes to find that goal, but it's a steadier. It's eked the margin back out to 12 points for the Bombers. Just a couple of the runners that Mount Gravatt have managed to get under control. Salter hasn't been quite as prolific this quarter as he was in the first half. Brewer, he's had 2 shots at goal, but he hasn't quite been as explosive or as prominent. You can expect those two will run out the game strongly. Vultures will be looking to keep them under wraps. Malone in the middle against Paxman. Big Paxman. Malone over the top. Scott's been good in the middle, getting first hands on the ball. Brother Luke almost takes a beauty. First man back onto the ball, was looking for a teammate, couldn't get it. Howard's been important in the last 5 minutes. Paxman, clever kick around the body. There's the man we were talking about, Salter. Draws the man, gives it to Godfrey, he's been good too. Goes back to Salter. He's got the man running into the open goal square. That's the way the kick goes. Beautifully weighted kick and a lovely left-hand mark. One-handed to Josh Pullman, and they set that up beautifully. You can just see in the last 5 minutes, Funky, the way that the players have streamed out there. All the forwards are running up outside the 50-metre line and then doubling back, and it's going to have created a second goal for them in as many minutes. No, it's not. I tell a lie. Pullman has absolutely slaughtered that.
He really rushed it, Ron. He didn't need to. He changed his whole routine just for that short kick, and he's paid the ultimate price by kicking one behind.
And the join the dots in the points column's growing as he moves to 1 goal 6 for the day. It's 9-18, plays 8-11. Grua and Scott.
Numbers here. Mount Gravatt. Scott with the ball. He looks up. Kicks it up to half forward. He's Gross attacks it with a left foot and he's a beautiful long kick, but composure. Out forward, Jones in front of Dick Foss. Nice run and beautiful execution there as he comes across half back. Grua looks inside. He's got Thompson. Thompson's got the runner in Cast. Cast runs through. Looks up, kicks over the top to Zuffer. It's a beautifully weighted kick and a great lead from Zuffer, and he marks 50 metres out, close to 10 metres in from the boundary line. Zuffer is a beautiful long kick. Looks in the middle, there's no one there. He'll go back and back himself from here.
They're just starting to get those men free in the midfield, just like they did through the second half of the second quarter, Redland. The alarm bells might be starting to ring in the Vultures coach's box. Well, they're certainly kicking themselves out of this game. They moved to 9-19. Zuffer's normally a very good kick of the football. We'll say that the breeze has just started. You can just start to feel it pick up a little bit in the box here, but otherwise it's really not many excuses. As Boone over the top, not only takes a great mark, but that has hurt John Barry. Very slow to get up. Grua. They've left that hole at the top of centre half forward there open very nicely for most of the day, the Bombers. Now he's looked a good kick on the run, Grua.
He's backing himself here, Ron. I think he's going to have to kick this every bit of 55 metres.
That was touched off the boot, so it was never going to be a goal anyway. And Grua gets his second behind for the day. 1 goal, 2 to the Redhead.
I never really get those kicks, mate. 55 metres out and goes sort of inside that the goal box. I just never really get why they don't put it out 15 metres in front and give everyone the opportunity so it doesn't go over the back and easy possession for the opposition. But them's the case. 50-metre penalty here for Mount Gravatt. I'm not quite sure what that one was for, but Stewart's going to have the ball as he kicks out to centre wing. Umpire calls it back.
Now that's unfortunate because Jamison had found all sorts of space out there, so he'll be closed up by the time the ball gets back. To Stewart. Who Blake Stewart, he has had 7 scoring shots on him, but there's also been plenty of ball going down there and he's done very well in the one-on-ones. Now Levy's got Jamison free again if he wants him. Elects to go longer looking for Mowat. Pullman just lent on him nicely. Oh gee, Jamison put himself at the fall of ball, was just unlucky. This is a Jeter. He's quick. Mowat goes in. Sam Pullman was over it. This is Mowat goes back. Holds his feet, dodges around one, gives it to Yashira. Yashira puts it to the top of the square. Gross can go for it.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Fumbles the chest mark over the line there and deep inside Mount Gravatt's forward line.
He has been very solid though, hasn't he? He's not overly tall, but that bulk seems to be off-putting for the taller men around him. Paxman. It's down beautifully there towards, is that Pringle or Pullman? Oh, the Vultures have got a chance here. Oh, clever work by Pennington. Great work. Oh, Estel can't get a handle on it. Yes, he can.
Oh, out of bounds.
Misses everything. It's good work there by Pennington. For a big fella, he had a long way to reach down to that, and he had it out in a flash.
Must have been touch ball run off the boot. The point post on the full, but boundary throw in. Pennington, Paxman, Boone. Jamison's got him wrapped up. And Green's got the ball. Or it might be Barry, sorry.
That wasn't going to come out in a hurry. All those players around the ball.
A lot of players around this ball up inside 50. Redland's got the numbers. Grua, quick kick. Thompson in front, good mark in front of Nate. Handballs it off to Cast, the former captain. Looks up. Beautiful kick up to Bain, just inside. Got Salter running hard.
And there's that open 50, not a player in the 50-metre zone when that ball was kicked.
And Thompson can run it in here. Poor finish from Thompson in his 100th game. He probably had a bit more time than he first thought. He could have run inside and had a shot on goal, but he sprayed it, and therefore it's going to be a boundary throw in deep inside Redland's forward pocket.
Mount Gravatt just struggling to adjust to that forward strategy that Redland have got at the moment by pushing all the forwards outside the 50-metre zone. It's something that I'm sure will be readdressed as Gartner, magnificent handball out of the pack. Zuffa, cool as you like, cross the body, dribbles it through. And Redland have got another very, very important goal. 25-minute mark. It was just what the doctor ordered for the visitors. They move to 10-20. That's 80. Mount Gravatt, the home side, at 8-11-59. It starts to get out to be a 4-kick margin. We spoke earlier in the quarter that the Vultures probably really don't want to be any more than 3 goals behind, so you really like to think that they like to get at least one more, the Vultures, before 3/4 time and possibly 2.
I think it's just that it's the natural thought process of young players is that they can switch off after a period of time. They're in deep into red time now, and Redlands have just kicked a couple of goals in the time on, and Mount Gravatt have just got to learn from this and make sure that they really clamp down on these experienced Redland players and make the most of every opportunity that they get. So as we're deep into the 25th minute, 26th minute now of the 3rd quarter, as Pennington and Hunter do battle in the middle. Hunter wins the tap, beautiful tap out. Lovey with the ball, it's high tackle there, but a play on the umpire calls, and he balls it up in the middle of the ground, 10 metres off centre.
Daniel Zufa is standing 40 metres in the clear by himself at half forward. If they get a clearance here at Redland, then Mount Gravatt are in all sorts of trouble as Lavey drops back now towards Zufa, so there's an opportunity lost there for the Bombers. Umpire's found a free kick for a high tackle. Looks like it's going to go Redland's way. Is it Brad Reese? No, it's going to go to Hunter. He gives it off to Thompson, who's been busy this quarter. Oh, he's met solidly by Pennington. And that was always going to be a relay free kick down the ground. And on these hot days, Funky, not only does the body begin to fry, but the brain begins to fry sometimes too. It's what happens to human beings, and that was probably just a little bit of a brain fade there.
Yeah, once again, there was no need to do it. Pennington, probably the most experienced player out there on the ground, and really just needs to lead the way there. So I'm sure he's a little bit frustrated with the free kick earlier, but it's definitely cost him an inside 50 now. Gross has gone back just to steady the ship now for the Vultures, and takes a beautiful mark. Kicks it out wide here to Stewart. Stewart take an easy mark on his chest. Looks inside. Got some runners inside. That's a poor kick though on his left there to Yoshiura. Handballs across. Scott flicks it out. Jamison up. Estel takes a nice mark in front of Boone. He's 55 metres out.
He's got men running for him on the outer flank. Covered off there by Redland players. Yeah, nice ball movement by Mount Gravatt. They've showed some really good signs at different stages of this game. They're going to be a competitive outfit this season. Don't worry about that. As Gross runs down the ground, loads up from inside the square, puts it in the goal square. Mowatt's going to fly from the back. Couldn't quite get it right. He has been as solid as a rock down there. This is Brewer. He's going to take it and run. Veering puts the block on Eckerman. Brewer runs down and he's got Zufa running for him. Jesse Green's going to close. What's the bounce going to do? Zufa taps it like a ruckman. Clever to Salter. Salter's got Bain leading for him. Quick wasn't weighted well enough. Stewart gives it to Neat. Neat's in all sorts of trouble here. Bain closes. Good defensive work there by the Vultures, and we'll get ourselves a boundary throw in. But it's in the danger zone for Redland. Another goal here would make them very, very difficult to run down in the last quarter. There's a few players with hands on heads. Zufa's going to be dangerous down there around goal. Gartner's going to take the ruck knock up against Malone. 2 clash. Knocked over the top into the danger zone by Gartner, but the only man there was Jesse Green. Liked his game today. Green puts it out in front of Estel. He's shown some dash. Shown no signs of slowing down as the nippy half forward. The only problem is he's got not a lot on, so he goes back in the other way. Still nothing much to look forward to.
Oh, cut off by Pringle.
It's going to be Mowatt's crashed into the back of Pringle. That's got a few of the Redland players upset. Pringle is really out of wind down there. Umpire's just getting in there to settle this situation down. Pringle's still down on the ground. It's obviously just knocked the wind out of him. You know what it's like when you cop one of them in the back of the rib cage. It's hard to suck in some deep ones. He's going to have a few trainers out there to look at him. Yeah, he's going to be okay. He's starting to suck in a few deep ones now. Brave stuff by the Bombers. I'm sure the coaching staff will love to see that, and that'll be highlighted on the tapes during the week. The kick wasn't so good. It probably could have had a mate there to dish off to. Phil Cass is in trouble there, and he's brilliantly tackled by Proud. Unlucky not to get the free kick. Proud screams for it, but that's not going to help as the ball goes over the boundary line. Fairness to the umpire, may just well have been blindsided by a jumper running in front of him, and that can happen. Boundary throw in. Hunter up against Mowat. Hunter gets first hands to it. Jamison over it. Oh, throw himself in there. It was a Bombers player. Couldn't pick up the number. Gravatt, well done by Ajita. Ajita ducks out of 1 tackle, ducks out of 2. Great work by the young fella. Gives it to Blake Stewart. But Gravatt's on the bottom of it. They've just harassing in numbers there, the Bombers. Man over the back was Zuffer. He's sitting out there waiting for that easy kick to come his way. Chris Thompson's put the tackle on two of them and flips it out the back to Gartner. That was very clever play. It's a one-on-one down here. No, it's not. Josh Veering has floated forward, found space. And this could be a very, very large nail into the coffin of the Vultures on what has been this very warm day. It'd be ironic that one of their former own, Josh Veering. And there we go, there we have it, the three-quarter time siren at exactly the 30-minute mark of the third quarter. Veering's going to take no time going in. Quite a few Vultures players on their haunches down around the ball. Veering from 30 metres, makes no mistake, and teammates come running from everywhere. They know how important that goal was. Gives them a very, very handy 27-point break now. It's 11-20, plays 8-11, and the Bombers are going to take some catching from here. There's still a little bit of feeling in the group from there. Probably harking back to what we saw, that little incident there about 5 minutes ago there, Funky. But a very important goal to Josh Veering. His first goal for the club, number 11 for the day. And they've kicked the last 3 goals of that quarter after a 5-goal run in the second quarter, just to reassert their domination. Just running through the goal kickers We'll run through the goal kickers according to our producer early in the last quarter. It's 11-20, plays 8-11.